Whole Hendrick team, everybody on this Slows car, Chad Canales and his leadership. It was a tough year for everybody the off-season, and our shop worked real hard to get us ready. And to open like this, great qualifying efforts, great speed in the race, great pit stops across the board. I'm very proud of the Slows team.
All right, thanks, Jimmy.
You got it. Thank you.
The backflip is back. By 1.02 seconds, Carl Edwards is a winner in Phoenix.
This was the last lap, your move. Talk about what you're doing here, going for everything on that last lap.
Going for anything. I didn't have much all day. I honestly, Pick Crew and Darren really carried us today, getting some track position, and gosh, it's just so hard to pass, and you're going to hear it a lot this week. That got a lot of work to do to get these cars to pass each other and things like that. Really, aero tight is a huge deal, and it's just this tire is so hard and the surface is new. So it'll be interesting once we get to some racetracks that got a little bit more tire wear. But really, you could run a whole race on left side tires, and it's not supposed to be that way. So, and it was a good day. I was happy for that run. We definitely we overachieved today, and that's what you got to do when your car's not all that good.
The overachiever, Denny Hamlin, top 5 today. Chris.
Terrific move by Hamlin. Only 12 lead changes today, but in the end, those last 2 restarts spelled victory for Carl Edwards of the Ford. We'll have more in a moment. Show. The Subway Fresh Fit 500 and the unofficial results, but we know it's official that Carl Edwards held off Jimmie Johnson and Denny Hamlin. Brad Keselowski had a lot to do, too, with Carl and 2 fellow Ford drivers, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. finishing 5th.
Yeah, strong run for Jeff Burton, top 10 for that team. And look at A.J. Allmendinger, 11th place finish in his debut in 2013 with that Finch team.
Greg Biffle, 17. Casey Kane lining up 19. Kyle Busch just had trouble trying to get on that lead lap.
And Mark
23rd.
Our pole sitter, Mark Martin, with a late pit stop there, was short on fuel, relegated him to a 21st place finish. And David Strimmy fights home to a 30th place finish as well.
Danica Patrick started 40th, moved up to 21st, but while running 26th, had a tire problem, hit the wall, said she was okay, but a tough hit. Rounding out the results, we mentioned Brad Keselowski finishing 4th, and Krista Voda standing by with Brad.
Yes, Chris, we knew fuel was a concern for a lot of these drivers. How close was the number 2 team? Did I hear you say ran out crossing the start-finish line?
We did. We ran out across the start-finish line. I guess we hit it just right, but just a solid day. We had a really fast car today with the Morley Ford, but just came up a bit short. Really happy for Carl. We couldn't win. It's good to see another Ford win. I know how important this race is to him with Subway, and also good for him. And gave him a little push there at the end, and was hoping that I could use that momentum to get by the 48 too, but that didn't work out. Raced him pretty hard, got sideways, and he ran me pretty cool, and just good racing there at the end with him and Denny Hamlin, and just came up a bit short of the win, but our cars are fast. It's the best start to the season I've ever had, and we're pumped up. We've had a shot at winning all 4 races I've been in this year with the Nationwide Cup, and just came up that little bit short, but we got a lot to be proud of at Penske Racing.
Champ starting off right where he finished last year. Steve Burns?
Well, Dale Earnhardt Jr., you led some laps today. Talk about this race in its entirety.
Well, I think we, used strategy to get up front on pit road to get ourselves track position. We were able to show we had a pretty good car. On the pit stop, the 99 got the lead. I was on the inside of him on pit road, and I think I could have beat him off, but the 13 was trying to get in his stall, and I had to lift for that. And I think I knew right then that was my opportunity to win the race was right there. It's real hard to, difficult to pass with a big spoiler, but our car was good enough to actually run up on some guys and make some passes. I want to thank Steve. They made a lot of good changes. Did some good stops on pit road. Thank National Guard, got Mountain Dew, all our partners. But we haven't been good here. That's a good run for us. I'm a little disappointed because I think we won, and hate to give away the points, but and love to get a big lane. So this is a good sign for us, though, that we've improved this much at Phoenix. Hopefully, it's time for the rest of the season that we're going to be all right. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Steve. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Brad Keselowski are both tied for 2nd behind Jimmie Johnson after 2 of the 26 points races to the chase. But Carl Edwards, 15-1 odds in Las Vegas, where we're going next week. He is leaping in victory lane with a win, and we'll have more in just a moment. And what a a battle as Carl Edwards ends that string. He was having to fight off Jimmie Johnson as Denny Hamlin made a move.
Denny was trying to squeeze the door closed on Jimmie Johnson, and 05 time wasn't having any part of that.
Yeah, and you know the yellow line's not out of bounds. It's only in Daytona and Talladega. Certainly he used that. Now, after 2, it's 26 before we go to the chase for the end, Michael Waltrip. But who's really in trouble here?
Well, we got some big stars that are outside the top 30 in points. Casey Kane chased guy last year. He's 31st. Kyle Busch, 33rd in the points. Heck, Harvick, he's 30th. Tony Stewart's 23rd. We got some big names that had better get going in Vegas.
And Jimmy Fennick, the crew chief of Carl Edwards, teamed together for the first time. You heard Carl Edwards talk about him. Fennick has won a championship with Kurt Busch. He's won a couple of Daytona 500s, and he helped Carl Edwards end that 70-race string. In fact, he was called 5 times for the crashes in the speed weeks, his worst weeks ever. And now he's back with a win as Jack Roush and the Subway crew celebrate. Tonight on Fox, The Simpsons at Fuel Animation Domination, Family Guy, and then Bob's Burgers. And Carl Edwards, in fact, his last win prior to this one was in Las Vegas. Will be there for the Cobalt Tools 400. Note the start time, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific. Tony Stewart had to hold off Jimmie Johnson to win in this race last year. And Victory Lane over on Speed has more coverage from this race. Well, Mark Martin led 75 laps from the pole, but Carl Edwards led the most laps and captures the win after 2 races, and we head to Las Vegas next Sunday. For Michael Waltrip, I'm Chris Myers, our entire production crew. Thanks for watching and being a part of NASCAR on Fox.